There are 7 specific things that the forever small creator does that keeps them never growing. If you want to avoid the painful fate of the forever small creator, you need to see how these patterns connect. Because the problem with these behaviors is that you won't even know that you're doing them until it's too late. Okay, there's generally 2 types of people who become the forever small creator. The first is the creator who refuses to change. And the second is the creator who is too paralyzed to pay the cost of entry without a guarantee of results. And then there's a third type, which I will reveal shortly. The number one reason someone becomes a forever small creator is intent mismatch. Most people think that small channels stay small because of bad luck, but for YouTube, the most important piece of data isn't who watches a video, it's who doesn't. So in the machine learning papers that govern this platform, Google calls the videos that people scroll past and don't watch negatives. The system has to manage hundreds of millions of videos, so it relies on lazy guesses to decide where a creator belongs. It's literally training the system on failure to match a particular video with the right type of viewer. So I want you to think about it like this. Imagine a creator makes a premium organic apple juice that needs to be sold at the grocery store. Now work with me on this one. In the store, the juice could go either in the juice aisle, in the refrigerated section, or in the baby aisle. If the title, thumbnail, and content aren't perfectly aligned, the store's computer takes a lazy guess. It sees the word apple and just sticks that premium apple juice in the baby aisle. Now, a parent walks by looking for cheap juice boxes, then they see that expensive glass bottle, and because it's not what they need, they scroll right past it. Every scroll is a negative logged against that video. So here's the invisible wall. The machine doesn't realize it made a mistake by putting the juice in the wrong aisle. It only sees that people are rejecting it. By the time the algorithm finally tries to show that video to the right person, it's already labeled that video a failure based on those early rejections. The creator isn't broken here, it's that they have a broken process. The third type of forever small creator, so these are hobbyists. If a channel exists as a digital diary, maybe like a creative outlet, so maybe it's a hobby for you. It's already successful. There is no broken process. That's because the goal is personal. Honestly, there's something wonderful about creating just for the sake of creating, without worrying about the numbers. So they stay small because they want to, and that's a win. And yes, some hobbyists can have massive growth, but they are the exception, not the rule. So this isn't about those creators. This is about the ones that want to grow but are failing to reach their audience because of these 6 remaining behaviors. If the algorithm is guessing where a video belongs, it's usually because the creator is failing at the first point of contact. This is behavior number 2, packaging friction. Most channels fail here because the thumbnails are an absolute mess. They're cluttered with too much text, and they fail to trigger a real emotional response. And I'm not talking about exaggerated facial expressions. I'm talking about the emotional response triggered by the text itself. The words on a thumbnail shouldn't just describe the video. They should create a psychological itch that the viewer has to scratch. If the text doesn't create tension, if it doesn't create curiosity or a sense of urgency, nobody's going to click. Most importantly, the thumbnail text often fails to work with the title. This leaves the viewer confused instead of making them want to see more. So I want you to think about it like a house on a busy road. The title and the thumbnail are the front door, and the first part of the house that the viewer enters is the video. The goal is to get them in the house with that video, because if they watch all of the way through, they can be led to the next room, which is another video. But a viewer never has a chance to see the other rooms if the creator can't even get them through the front door. When the title and the thumbnail are fighting against each other, it's like having a welcome sign on a door that's ported shut. So if they aren't working as a single unit, the channel is essentially choosing to stay invisible. So in that half second of friction, the viewer has already scrolled past. And when a channel confuses the audience at the door, it triggers a third, much more deeper failure. And that failure is the unclear channel. When the entry point is noise, the algorithm has no choice but to guess. So this leads to behavior number 3, mixed signaling. There is a common trap here. The idea is that staying in your lane isn't about a topic, but about tone or emotional resonance. The theory is that the channel isn't training for speed or clarity, but a specific rhythm. While that is a valid creative choice from a growth perspective, it's a difficult path. The forever small creator often hides behind this vibe because it feels artistic, but the machine sees it as static. Machines are optimized for clarity and pattern recognition. When a channel prioritizes a vibe over a clear topic, it forces the algorithm to work much harder to find the right neighborhood. It's a bottleneck. And if a creator is relentlessly determined to make that work, they're probably going to succeed, but that's because they're at the abnormal 0.1%. For the 99.9% of normal people, ignoring clarity is just a way to stay invisible. While the creator is waiting for that resonance to be recognized, the system is busy logging negatives because it's testing that video on the wrong people. Think about it like this. Imagine if a viewer is scrolling through their feed and they see a thumbnail that looks like a high-stakes investigation into a massive industry scam. So it's got that exposed energy. So they click and they're ready for a breakdown of the facts. But the video starts and it's just 15 minutes of that creator sitting on the floor, talking vaguely about their personal journey with the topic. The creator thinks they're being vulnerable and authentic, but to the viewer, it's just bait and switch. So you promised a war with your thumbnail and title, and you delivered a therapy session. The viewer isn't going to sit through your self-reflection to find the point that you promised in the title. They're just going to leave. They don't click for a vibe, they click for a result. And when the algorithm fails to solve that riddle, it's usually because the channel is sending different signals every time it uploads. I want you to listen very carefully on this one. Sending different signals doesn't just confuse the algorithm, it actively poisons the fan base. I'm serious. This is the core of behavior number 4, the identity crisis. Many small channels are a mess of different topics. They try to be everything to everyone, which means they are nothing to anyone. So I want you to think about Jack. So Jack is a high intent viewer. So he spends his Saturday mornings watching gear reviews because he's planning a solo trek through the woods. When the channel uploads a survival gear review, Jack watches every second and he subscribes. So he is the perfect fan for the algorithm to follow that type of channel. But 2 days later, the creator, driven by a random whim, uploads a video about skincare routines for Jane. Jack sees a notification, so he's looking for a knife, not a face cream. He has zero interest, so he scrolls past it. So to the algorithm, Jack's behavior is a disaster because Jack, the person the system just identified as a fan, ignored the new video. The system assumes the video is a failure. It stops showing that skincare video to other people like Jack. And then it does something even worse. It starts to wonder if it should stop showing Jack the channel altogether. You've seen these channels, the big subscribers with very little views. This is why. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, the creator uploads a video on crypto trading for Jill. Now, both Jack and the skincare audience ignore this notification. This is a total collapse of the channel's data. And this is the hallmark of the forever small creator, the ghost audience, a subscriber count that looks healthy but is dead in the water. Because every ignored notification is another negative logged by the system. The creator is chasing 3 niches and catching 0 growth because the algorithm can never find a steady group of people to push the video to. And as the old proverb says, a man who chases 2 rabbits catches neither. On YouTube, if a channel chases 3 niches, it's committing algorithmic sabotage, which triggers the 5th problem. The reason these creators chase so many niches is that they haven't realized that the channel isn't about them yet. They're stuck in behavior number 5, self-indulgent content. This is what I like to call the opinion generalist because the channel has no clear target to serve. The creator assumes that the audience is there specifically for them. They turn on the camera and they hit record and they talk about whatever they feel like that day, assuming their unresearched opinion is gospel or gold. They believe that because they have a thought that the world has an obligation to listen. But here's the cold reality. Nobody cares about your opinion until they care about your expertise. Hero channels where the personality is a star earn their authority by being the best at one specific thing first. They provided so much value in one area that the audience eventually became interested in the person behind the value. The forever small creator tries to skip that work and go straight to the reward. I know it. I see a bunch of channels do this. I've seen 10 in the last couple of hours. They broadcast what they want to say instead of answering a specific problem people are actually having. They spend zero time researching what the world is actually asking or what people are searching for. They don't look at the data, they look in the mirror. In their minds, they're the main character of a show everyone's watching. But in the reality of the algorithm, an opinion from an unproven source is a low value asset. When an unknown creator uploads a video titled "My Thoughts on the Future," they're committing the ultimate sin. They're asking for the viewer's most valuable currency, their time, without offering a single reason why that time will be well spent. But even if the creator fixes their ego and decides to provide value, they usually hit a massive internal wall that keeps the camera from ever being turned on. That wall is behavior number 6, psychological paralysis. So there's a concept from Dr. Phil Stutz. It's called the snapshot. So it's the pursuit of the perfect life, the perfect partner, the perfect house, the perfect fill in the blank. It's a static picture of a reality that doesn't exist. For the creator, this is a trap. They become obsessed with the illusion of the perfect niche, the perfect script, and the perfect timing. For the forever small creator, the snapshot is a sanctuary. The creator refuses to publish because they are paralyzed by the pursuit of zero flaws. But the system cannot rank a ghost. It cannot learn from a draft. They spend 6 months designing a logo and 3 months picking a microphone, but they haven't uploaded a single minute of footage. They're choosing the safety of being potentially great over the risk of being currently average. But the machine only learns from data, and data cannot be gathered from a file that never leaves a hard drive. They are protecting an ego that hasn't even entered the arena yet. And for the rare few who actually push past the paralysis and start uploading, they almost always hit a final wall. Behavior number 7, impatient quitting. The impatient quitter implements changes for 2 weeks, and then when the third video doesn't hit the target, they declare the method broken. They give into emotions every time a line goes down on a graph. Small creators often treat the algorithm like a vending machine. They put in a good thumbnail and expect a viral hit immediately. But the first videos aren't meant to make them famous. They're meant to make them competent. The system takes time to recalibrate. When a process is fixed, the algorithm has to unlearn months of negatives before it can start finding positives again. Most people walk away from the gold mine when they were only 6 inches from the vein because they couldn't handle the silence of the testing phase. No matter how isolated you are and how lonely you feel, if you do the work truly and consciously, unknown allies will come and seek you. That's Carl Jung. The platform isn't ignoring these creators because of bad luck. It's ignoring them because the data they are providing proves that they don't have a target audience yet. The system is working exactly as it was designed to. The only question left is whether they're going to change their process to fit the math or keep fighting a losing battle. And if you're actually serious about doing something about it, then click on this video right here.